What is going on YouTube? Joe here with Culination Media, and welcome back for another episode of the Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. This is episode number 38, and today we're going to be taking on the boss of the Stone Tower Temple, which should only take about 5 minutes or so, to be completely honest. So once we do that, we're going to head on over to an area where we can get ourselves a heart piece. It's a little bit of a gauntlet type area, so I don't know that we're going to actually do it this episode, but I want to at least get there, so that's kind of the goal. It might end up being a shorter episode, but I'm completely fine with that. Now, you want to make sure that you have your Giant's Mask ready to go, because this is the only room in the entire game that you can actually use this mask, and you pretty much need it to win. So, yeah, you want to make sure you have that. So once you go into the next room, if you look on the ceiling, you'll see that that is where we fought the Garrow Master, because there was that hole in the ceiling that he jumped down from. So the reverse of that is not a mini-boss, but a desert area where we are going to face not one, but two giant worm thingies known as the giant masked insect Twinmold. And yeah, these things look huge, but you get a better perspective once the camera angle changes here, and they're going to go under the ground. Yeah, they are massive. So the first thing that you want to do, I guess you can target them. Just its tail and head aren't protected by its hard exoskeleton, so aim carefully. If only you were the same size as it. Well, luckily we can be. Once we put on our Giant's Mask, it's not going to transform us, but it is going to increase our size exponentially to the point where... yeah, we're kind of on a level playing field here. So they can touch, or not they can touch you, they can damage you by touching you at all. So you don't want to really run into them. I mean, I guess you can just, they don't do that much damage, especially if you have the defense upgrade from the Great Bay Temple. So you can kind of just sacrifice yourself a little bit to take some damage in order to dish out some damage to their head or tail, since that's their only vulnerable point. Now you do constantly use magic while you are under the spell of the Giant's Mask. So if you don't have Chateau Romani and you're wasting magic, you're probably going to have to destroy those pillars that have the little Majora's Mask symbols on it. They do give you magic and various other things, but mostly magic. The only downside is you have to take the Giant's Mask off to go collect the magic upgrades most of the time. So that is a thing. So I suggest you have your bunny hood so you can do that. It's still kind of difficult to run in the sand, though, so you kind of run in slow motion. A lot of times you just don't get to the magic in time, which kind of stinks. So yeah, that is one of the Twinmold worms dead. And that's what I mean. It's so incredibly easy. They don't have any other attacks than to just kind of like slither around. So they can come up underneath you and stuff, but it's not anything to worry about. And they don't even do that much damage when they do hit you. And since you have the Gilded Sword, most likely at this point, it doesn't take that many hits to just kill them. So maybe, I don't know, like 7 or 8 hits a piece, which isn't that bad at all. I don't know how I missed him every single time right there. That's ridiculous. And we hit him in the head and he's dead. So we are 3.5 minutes into this video, and that's all it took to defeat the boss. And I think like at least a minute was just me talking before we even started. So yeah. I mean, I love the idea of this. The premise of putting on the Giant's Mask and having this big, like, arena-style battle is just really cool. A really good idea. But they just made this thing way too easy. Yeah, it's easy whether you have the Chateau Romani or not. It just comes down to convenience, really. But the chances are you're not going to die here, most likely. If anything, you would die against, like, Gomez or... the Garrow Master isn't that difficult either, so yeah, I should probably show that once you blow these things up, there's usually little upgrades in there, like arrows and such. I don't even know if I need arrows, but I'm going to go ahead and pick it up anyway. And now we can run over and pick up our prize, which will be a fresh new heart container, which will be the last full heart container that we can pick up in the game. The rest of those hearts will just be picked up via heart pieces. So we are missing, I think, 16. Looks like we were missing 4 hearts. So I think it's 16. But yeah, and then we can pick up the Twinmold remains. And we will now be able to free the 4th and final giant/god, which can help us stop the moon from falling on the third night, or I guess the dawn of the fourth day. So we'll have this last little cutscene where we connect with them. Well, we've helped all of you. Yeah, you tell them, Tattle. That's all we can do. So now we need you guys to help us in return. Call us. That's what they're saying. They're saying call us. And what they mean by that is you're going to play the Oath to Order, which we learned a long time ago. Without being told, we understand. So now you'll help us out in exchange. We'll call you from atop the clock tower, so do something about him, alright? And by him, Tattle means the Skull Kid, obviously. What? Their voices sound sad. You don't want to? Well, no, of course they don't want to, because as we learned from the tale from Anju's grandmother, Skull Kid and the Giants are friends. They're old pals. Forgive your friend, is I'm guessing what this is going to say. Yes, forgive your friend. Oh my gosh, the text moves so slow. So slow. Forgive our friend? What do you mean by forgive, huh? What friend? Well, obviously they're talking about Skull Kid, Tattle, jeez. So yeah, we're going to have to play the Oath to Order once we get to the clock tower, which we learned at the beginning of the game, basically. We haven't used it even once. But yeah. So once we get back to Akana Canyon here, the curse is going to be lifted, but nothing really changes throughout the entire canyon. You can't really tell any changes. It's not like there was poisonous water, like in the swamp, or there was like some crazy seasonal issue, like in the mountains. So, but I mean, Great Bay didn't really change too much either. The water was considered like less murky or something, but yeah, nothing really changed. And there's not really anything else that you can do having defeated the temple, so you won't have to go back and defeat this boss most likely, because nothing really changes. Oh look, a Gwei. I guess I should have killed you with light arrows to get 50 rupees. But I decided not to do that. So before we go back in time, it's only the second night. So we have time to go do a little side quest and get ourselves a piece of heart. And this specific little side quest, it'll come in handy to have infinite magic. So we're going to do that before we play the Song of Time and save our game. We already got our gift from the Fairies Fountain for saving all the stray fairies. We got ourselves the Great Fairy Sword, which is something I most likely will never use because it's just awkward. And so yeah, we actually don't even have to leave the canyon to get this, get to this next area. And wow, it went all the way to the cliff. Can I make it in time before it disappears? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. Maybe if we, like, dolphin jump. Oh, wait. I tried to put on the mask. It didn't let me. It didn't let me. Can we dolphin jump up there? No. Okay. That was just awkward. So now I'm, like, wasting even more time. What? And I can't even jump up there? I always think that I can jump up on top of that little cliff area because it looks like something you would just normally grab. And he never does it. He never, ever does it. No, it's long gone. Long gone. It took way too long to get over there. So where we want to go is actually upstream on this river, so we can put on our Zora mask, which we conveniently already had out, and swim past the Octoroks. We don't need to kill them because it's just not necessary. So we're going to swim upstream until we get to the waterfall area. Is there anything down here? Anything? No, didn't look like it. So I see a sign. And there's a little area behind the waterfall, and that's where we are headed. Guess I should look in here to see if there's anything. I didn't see anything in there, no. Just looks like some fishies. Secret shrine behind the waterfall, now awaiting the challenges of bold visitors sure of their might. Well, I'm pretty sure of my might, because we defeated all of the temples, so I feel like we can handle this. So when we go in here, it's called the Secret Shrine. You do need to have, I believe, at least a total of 16 heart containers in order to complete this entire area, or they just won't let you go into all the rooms. So make sure you have that, but if you've defeated all 4 temples, you should have that many. So you can shoot that with a light arrow, that opens the door. You can have a magic bean and play the Song of Storms in here to get rupees that go across the ceiling area, as you can see, but that's completely unnecessary. as it's not enough rupees to really be worth it. You can just go outside and shoot some guays or blue bubbles and rack up some rupees a lot faster that way. So I think we're actually going to call it an episode here. I know it's only about 10 minutes in, but that's really all I wanted to accomplish. Next time, we're going to take on the Secret Shrine, which will eventually lead to a heart piece, and it's basically just a gauntlet of some old enemies of ours that, you know, we're going to have to rematch. So that's going to be fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this nice little short episode. If you did, please make sure you're leaving a like rating or a comment or whatever you would like to do, of course, and I will see you all next time. But until then, game on.